Oh shit, man. It feels good to be back. Welcome back to another episode of Riv Academy. Well, let me not even say another episode. Welcome back to the first episode of the year in Riv Academy. I want to thank for the fans. I know you guys have been waiting for this. I look a little crazy right now. It's been a long day. I've been playing that new football game, college football 25. I've been playing that all day. Didn't have work, decided to chill out, relax, had a couple Bleach Report streams we had to do. But I'm excited to get back, man. I'm excited to get back and talk about sports. Uh Subscribe, like, Pick a Side podcast. This will be up on Pick a Side for sure. Shout out to Fantasy Reaction. They got me back in my bag. They just did their second episode, so I got to trail up. But I promise y'all would get an NBA season out of me dropping this episode today. I will be dropping another episode on Friday. I'm going to definitely give y'all something because I know Summer League's been happening. I got to catch up. USA has been going on. It's been a lot going on. But I'm glad to be back. I wanted to chop it up with y'all a little bit, talk about what I'm going to be doing this year. And I'm definitely going to be stay committed. I really want to get out of my comfort zone, be more intertwined with the basketball world, more intertwined than I already am, and definitely try to start doing things out the box, try to give y'all better content or more fun content than just sitting here, and talking about sports. Keep going. I put that up there and I should have been following that. But let's get right into it, man. Let's talk about let's talk about why I'm here. Donovan Mitchell got paid. And I think I was so excited. Last year was really rough. Just in terms of if you're like a Garland fan, it was tough for you. He was playing well in the beginning, messed up his jaw, dealt with injuries, didn't play to the best of his abilities. Donovan Mitchell, though, big Donovan Mitchell fan since Louisville. If you are a Donovan Mitchell fan, you were ecstatic about last year. Not only were you ecstatic, you were screaming because you felt like he didn't get the respect that he should have been getting. Year before, first stop in Cleveland, played amazing in the regular season, upped his playmaking ability, was just a certified bucket. Playoffs come around against New York, he didn't play well. I'm not even going to sit here and give excuses. Didn't play well. Came in this year a better player than what he was last year. Played a lot of point guard this year. Looked like he can really control an offense. It was like the best two guard in the league yet again for another regular season. Playoff time came around. He knew he had to get this team out the first round. He knew he had to, bounce back, solidify himself as one of the better playoff performers that we have in our league. Played against two top 5 defenses, played against two of the best defenses in the East. In Orlando, he did his thing. Boston, unfortunately, it was only 3 games, yet he showed he can do his thing. There was nobody out there that could guard him. And that's what you wanted to see out of Donovan Mitchell. And all year long, it's been the back and forth. Oh, Donovan's leaving. ESPN talking about it. Brian Windhorst talking about it. Colin Cowherd talking about it. Like so many guys just I wish I knew everybody off the top of my head, but so many guys just talking about how Donovan Mitchell was going to leave. And it was even a slight bit of doubt from me. Like, would Donovan leave? Is Donovan going to go to New York? I don't know. Like, is he going to go to OKC? Are these teams he's looking for? Does he not love it here? Has he not found a home? And he looked like he found that home. Like the deal, 3 years, $150.3 million. Extension includes a $54 million player option for the 2027-2028 season. He was already under contract for one more season. Oh, my God. And this is now going to make – this is the important part. This is now going to make Mitchell eligible to reach the 10-year criteria, making him eligible for a next extension worth $380 million. Now, if y'all know me, I'm a big advocate of go get your money. Go get your money because these organizations don't have any loyalty. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You could possibly get hit by a car, God forbid. You can, tear your ACL, break a leg, and then your family, you're done. So get this money, hold that down for your family, make your family get this generational wealth. $300 million is crazy. $380 million is insane. But Donovan Mitchell deserved that extension. What does this do for Cleveland? Oh, I'm going to tell you what this does for Cleveland. It gives them that reassurance that their superstar player is going to stay in town. He's going to stay home. And if he stays home, this is a big thing for Cleveland. I mean, this is now you've had all year. You don't know. You didn't know. Maybe you didn't know. Let me not say that. Maybe you didn't know internally and you was just keeping it under the mud. But I'm going to assume you did it. You was very 50-50 on it. You didn't know if Donovan Mitchell was going to stay. And then boom, he signs his contract. Seemingly he didn't give no hints or no, thoughts of leaving after the playoffs. Signs this extension. Big money vibes. Shout out to my boy D Mitch. Now you've established that your superstar is going to stay in town. In the East, where, excuse me, I'm a little burpy. In the East, where outside of Boston, everybody's beatable. I mean, the Knicks, they had a great offseason. I'm not going to sit here and say they didn't. Tyler Kolek in the draft, which I was big on. Then they picked up Mikal Bridges, a little bit of an overpay, but necessary for a team like that. You brought back OG. Unfortunately, you didn't bring back Hartenstein, but you brought back 2 elite 3-and-D defenders. You got Brunson out there. That's a team. That's a tough team. That's probably the second best team in the East to me. Philly done picked up my brother in Christ, Paul George, Philly Nation. We here. They got Tyrese Maxey. Their bench looks a little funny, but their big 3 is pretty solid. In Cleveland, you got to watch out because Orlando, they're coming. Listen, I predicted them to be a playoff team last year. I think they'll be a top 6 seed this year. They're that good. They're a playoff team. Picked up KCP. Internally are going to get better. Then you got Indiana, them young and hot firing Indiana team, best offense in the league. They're going to internally get better. Outside of that, I don't see any team Cleveland should be worried about. I mean, Miami's always going to be around, but you don't know what's going to happen with the Jimmy Butler news. Atlanta just traded DeJounte Murray. They're probably going to be in the play-in. Chicago's ass. Charlotte's a sneaky playing team, but they're just nothing more. Detroit still has to figure out what they're figuring out. Toronto is dog shit. So realistically, the East seems like it's a 5-team battle with the Boston being the clear number 1 team. So if you're Donovan Mitchell and you're the Cavs, you're thinking, well, when Donovan Mitchell was on the floor, we was giving this team hell. Shit, even when Donovan wasn't on the floor, that game 5, Cleveland played a great game up to that 4th when talent prevailed. But now you got your superstar locked in 3 more years. He's not. If he declines that player option, that means he's getting more money. Shout out to Donovan Mitchell. But you got him locked in 3 years. You got to figure out what you're going to do with this roster. You got to figure out what you're going to do. There was times in the season where Donovan Mitchell and Jared Allen looked great together. Mobley and Garland wasn't playing. There's times when that starting 5 actually played, they looked well. There was a report that came out that Darius Garland said he denied the trade rumors. He doesn't want to leave Cleveland. I'm a big Darius Garland guy. I don't know why people aren't. He did have a really ass year, but prior to that, back-to-back seasons of all-star caliber play. Even one time he made the all-star game. And he's one of the best playmakers in the league. So I don't know why people don't like him. I think this backcourt can work, but that 3 needs to be solidified. And I think Isaac Okoro, I love Isaac Okoro. He hasn't made enough strides in his game. I've been seeing a lot of get Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson would be dope for this team. I do think Okoro is a better defender, but I think Cam is a much more reliable shooter. He's a better shooter, I would just say. So you got to figure out that 3 spot. And you need a jump from Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley has always been the key for this team. You need a jump from Evan Mobley. You need an offensive leap from Evan Mobley. If you don't get that offensive leap, then it becomes an issue. It becomes a problem. So I think for Cleveland, you've had a good offseason in the sense of you picked up a good player in Jalen Tyson in the draft. I really like his game, a bit of a 3-and-D player, kind of, sort of. He can defend well. He can hit the 3 ball. He can play. He can score. If you had a good draft, what you can do, now it's about solidifying that 3 spot. Look at guys like Karis LeVert could possibly be in the move. Guys like Isaac Okoro could be on the move to make money work. Isaac Okoro right now is a restricted free agent, so they have his rights anyways. You got to pay Mobley next year, so that's another thing. How is he going to develop? You just watched your draft guys, Cade get his bag, Wagner get his bag. So now Mobley's going to be looking at that. All right, when am I getting my bag? Scotty got his bag. They didn't give Sengun and Jalen Green the bags yet, but I reckon they'll give Sengun the bag towards the end of this year. Kind of play that Philly card with a weight. But for Cleveland, this is what you wanted. You wanted Donovan Mitchell locked in. You wanted him committed, and he's giving you that. Now, another extension that happened, another one of my guys just keep getting paid, is Cade motherfucking Cunningham. And I say motherfucker, I got to say that because this brother is so nice. I was watching his hour highlights. I cried real tears. Because this brother is so good and so nice at the game of basketball. And Detroit might fumble him. Detroit legitimately might fumble what a talent Cade Cunningham can be. Now, if I'm not mistaken, which I got to grab the phone again, 5 years, $224 million. Couldn't get up to 269 with, of course, incentives and all that. So that's dope. Shout out to Cade. Cade averages of 22 to 23 points a game, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. He had a great I don't even know what to call it because his first year, he missed some time. He had a foot injury and he was hurt for most of the year. Played through it. Last year he played like 12 games, missed the whole year. So this is essentially his second year. This is basically he wasn't one of those guys who took a year off then played. No, he was playing through an injury that he had since college. Got hurt his second year, fixed it up. I heard played this year. Was pretty great in my eyes. With the situation he had, he was amazing to me. His playmaking is really underrated. He can make almost every read on the court. I'm not going to say everything. He does struggle with double teams, but a player at that young age, unless you Luka damn Doncic or LeBron or something like that, you shouldn't be, getting that type of load. But nonetheless, he handled it the best way he can, especially with the lack of space and the lack of just coaching awareness from Monty Williams that these lineups weren't working and they weren't gonna, maximize Cade Cunningham. So you pretty much botched this year. Now you got another year to prove yourself. You got a new coach, JB Bickerstaff. Shout out to him. I thought he didn't deserve to get fired in Cleveland, but I understand that they wanted to go in a new direction. It's fine. Now you're Detroit. You've needed a defense. You've needed to play some type of defense. Durham's terrible after like the first 10 games. Awful defensively. Asar is great defensively. Awful offensively. Well, yeah, awful offensively. Jaden Ivey was just non-existent last year. So you got a team where you made some okay moves. Tobias Harris, he's another shooter. That's dope. You picked up Ron Holland in the draft, who I thought was the most talented player in the draft. Do I think he would have fit in Detroit? That wouldn't have been my spot for him, but they went best talent available. I understand teams going in that direction. If you're Cleveland, you just need talent. You just need talent. So what are you going to do? Pardon me. If you're Detroit, you just need talent. So what are you going to do, Detroit? How are you going to build around Cade Cunningham? You gave him this money. You gave him this max. When is it going to be time to start competing? When is it going to be time to start realizing that this can't be another 15, 10-year rebuild? You can't keep doing this. And I think you have a foundation in Cade Cunningham. You have JB Bickerstaff, who I think is a really good coach, underrated coach. He may not be the best offensive coach, but his defensive schemes are pretty great. You bring in a staff with good offensive mind, but you have to get the players around it. You did bring in some shooting. You brought in some shooting, which I think is dope. You have to take the next step. At some point, the clock's going to tick. You did pay Cade this money, but then you're going to have to pay Duran eventually, Asar eventually. Eventually this talent has to click together, and I'm hopeful that it does eventually because I do love Detroit. I love the players that they have there. It's just they haven't found the right time to mesh. They haven't found the right time to, come together and connect. So I'm hoping they can do that. I'm definitely hoping that they can get through and figure out, lineups, and I'm hoping JB Bickerstaff can be the guy to save Detroit because I am a big, big Detroit fan. I am a big Cade Cunningham fan. But moving on to my last extension of the day, because I don't, this is a first day back episode. I want to talk about other stuff. I don't really want to talk about basketball. I want to get into, other things. Jalen Brunson, shock of the fucking decade, shock of the fucking century so far. Signs a 4-year, $156 million deal. Left 113 on the table. Yo, he better than me. Because let me tell y'all, if we'd have went in there and they'd have been like, all right, River, you had an All-NBA year. Second round, killed in the playoffs. We want you to sign this pay. Stop right there. This is me. They tell it, stop right there. I want every dollar that y'all owe me. I want every dollar in that book. I need that. I was 113 guaranteed, so 156 plus 113. Let's do the math. 269. Give me that. I would have signed that so quick, and then I'd have bought mad houses for my family. But that's me. I don't think, and this is why people obviously I'm gonna go on Twitter and joke, but speaking of it, seriously, I don't think many people would have been able to turn that money, turn that 113 down. And I'm not even gonna call you a loser or call you, not manly because you wouldn't turn that money down. Jalen Brunson is just a different dude. And there's nothing, not different bad, not different good. He's just a different dude than other people. Not many people can turn that money down. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. He turned that money down. He set his team up better to kind of make more moves down the run in terms of just not being over the second apron or the third apron, being able to still have flexibility to make moves next year or the year after and stuff like that. Hey, credit to Jalen Brunson. Credit to him. They paid OG ain't take no damn pay cut. And I respect OG because he might not ever see that money again. Jalen Brunson might. So I respect it. You take that money. Another report just came out that Mikal Bridges might also take a pay cut. So I think that's dope. Like the whole team is understanding that they're in a position where they understand the second apron, they understand the third apron, they understand how the new CBA rules work, and they want to keep as much flexibility as they can while also getting paid. And if your star player take a pay cut, who the hell are you to say I want my money? Like you know what I'm saying? Like I understand it. So like the way New York is going about it, I mean, they're just building a whole different culture and a whole different foundation than what like guys my age, 26 years old, have known New York, with the Melo era. And even before that, when they was having Chris Duhon and Jamal Crawford and Nate Robinson and Eddie Curry, like this is a different vibe from New York. Like, and I'm like, and it's coming at the perfect time because they have an opportunity to make the Eastern Conference Finals and maybe even get to the finals. Now, I would take Boston. I think it's a 70-30 shot, like 70 Boston, 30 New York. But we've seen 30 teams with that 30% chance to win go. We just seen Miami as the AFC do it. We've seen Dirk and them do it. Eventually, we get that Cinderella run. We don't know when it happens, but we get that run. And I don't even think New York would be a Cinderella run. I think New York is a great team. I do think they'll have some issues with another creator, but that depends on Julius Randle. If Julius Randle gets the bully ball, if he gets to just going head down, I'm stronger than you, because he's I'm going to say this, against Philly, against Boston, he could be a mismatch. Now, will he show up is a question, but in terms of just physique and game style, he could be a mismatch. That's 6'9", 250? Strength. Who's guarding? Realistic in Philly, they ain't got nobody. PG, he light. You know what I'm saying? I love PG. He could defend, but he's a little skinnier. He usually is better on the different type of players, not like that. With Boston, Tatum's pretty strong. Tatum could probably do that, But I'm looking at Milwaukee. You're gonna have to put Giannis on him. I've seen Randall kill Giannis. I'm not saying he will for a series. I've just seen it happen. Hit, boom. So I think New York, and then you got Mikal and OG. They could guard any wing duo in probably in the league. So it's like it's tricky. You got DiVincenzo off the bench. This team is nice. Deuce, like he's off the bench too. He can defend. That backup five, even that starting five is tricky because Mitch, he's always hurt, dealing with injuries. So that's tough. But I think with New York, they building a different type of foundation. I actually like what they're doing over there. I mean, I hate New York. I hate the Knicks. I'm not gonna say I don't, but I like what they're building over there. My hate watch can only go so far. I got to show some type of respect at some point. But I do like the fact that they're building a different type of foundation over there. But I know y'all been seeing us put out content at an insane rate, and we've been doing that a lot because we feel like y'all deserve it. We feel like y'all earned it. We feel like y'all been with us since the beginning, and y'all every time we get a reward, we feel like y'all should get a reward. Every time we do something great, we want to share it with you guys. And we just did that with that Patreon episode. Me and John one-on-one just dropped. I couldn't really explain how I felt or explain how I wanted to talk about the game because, of course, we was trying to keep it together, to wait for the spoiler. But the game is out. And now that the game is out, I want to talk about that. John not whack. I'm not going to say he whack, but I felt like I could have played. I felt like I could have destroyed him. I felt like I really could have beat John like 11-4. Or I'm sorry, 12-4, 12-5, 12-3. Like I really feel that in my heart. Because if you watch the game, I missed a lot of that's probably the first time a lot of y'all have seen me play. But like I'm gonna tell y'all objectively or like real shit. Like I make a lot of those layups. Those was easy ones that I don't miss. Like I don't miss layups. People call me rim runners, and I am, but I don't at the rim. I really don't miss. I shoot a really high percentage at the rim. So in that game, I'm just like, and I said it in the vid, like my touch was just not there today. And it wasn't. But you saw the mismatch. John is a mismatch. That's my guy. But guarding me, he's a mismatch. Like I got there at will. Little shoulder bump, he going out of bounds. Little hit him with, y'all seen the play I had in the post. Hook. Too easy. Like it's just, and now I can't shoot. I told people that from the job, I really can't shoot. It's funny because I used to be able to shoot when I was younger, when I was 16, 17. I had the gun. and I could defend, but I couldn't dribble and I couldn't make layups. And it's like when I was an adult, it just completely flipped. I don't know why. I think when I got into a car accident, 2016 after I graduated, hurt my whole arm, completely altered my jump shot. I never shot like the way I seen in the video. I didn't shoot like that when I was younger. My form was more like it was just different, and messed up my arm in the car accident. Now I'm a completely different player. But John played tough. He played tough, but I don't know. Like I just feel like I could have beat him. But that's gonna do it for this episode of River Academy. This is the first one back. I know y'all been feeding for it. I know I said Friday. I want to say to the fans, something happened Thursday night. I got a call Thursday night, Friday morning. A death happened. Somebody that raised me early on in my life. So, I had to deal with that. And the Saturday, we had the BDG event, which was amazing. We met Carson Bieber. We met Logan. We met a couple other fantasy underdogs and stuff. Like, we met a couple other podcasts that are big in the fantasy world. I'm not really a big fantasy guy, so I don't really know them like that. But they're big in their own right. Shout out to them, of course. And it was a great event. We had fun. We chopped it up. Them two dudes is dope. We will be on their show tomorrow, me and Drew, some trivia. So it's going to be dope. I'm going to have real fun. And yeah, but I just wanted to get this out to y'all. I'm gonna be on the episode with Rudy this Friday. I'm gonna drop another River Academy episode on Friday. Also, y'all probably gonna get some fantasy reaction show on Friday. And like I said, this year is just gonna be different. Like it's gonna be so different, just from not only me but the fellas too. Like Drew, Dels, Joel, even John, like Rudy. It's just gonna he's also a part of our team. It's just gonna be a different energy. Like it's gonna be a different vibe, and we shooting for that 100K this year so far. Like we end of the year next year, we will have 100,000 subscribers. And that's the goal we're trying to get at right now. And, with the continued, consistency from Pick a Side, that I'll make it my promise to not miss as many episodes as I missed this year, because I feel like I missed way too many. I'm gonna be more schedule oriented, but like we so locked in from Pick a Side to River Academy, to Fantasy Reaction. We're gonna be so locked into the Joel Moran show. I can never forget that. But we're gonna be so locked in this year. Like, don't be surprised if we all celebrating at the end of the year 100,000 subscribers. But thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for watching this. I hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. I hope y'all realize that I am back. I hope y'all trust in me to continue to get out this content. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.